Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's RsSavage and welcome to my PVM Relic guide. In this video, we will be looking at the optimal PVM relics as well as the quality of life PVM relics. So if you guys would like to see the timestamps, they will be in the description. But other than that, I spent a lot of time on this video, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys like, comment, and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now to start things off, here is an overview of how Monolith Energy works. As you can see, there are level, qualification, and research requirements for each threshold of Monolith Energy. So I will also leave a link in the description below to the wiki where you guys can click on these requirements and figure out how to complete them. First, I'll be showing the PVM optimal and quality of life relic setups for those of you who are able to harness up to 500 Monolith Energy, and then for those of you who are able to harness up to 650 Monolith Energy, you can use the timestamps to skip to the right part of the video. And lastly, for those of you who are unable to harness any of these thresholds, I would consider using this video to learn more about the relics, as well as you can use your intuition to choose which relics you would like to use. And you can also leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any other questions. I would be happy to help you guys set up your relics. Here is the first best in-slot relic setup for 500 Monolith Energy, and I also have two other setups that are great. It just all depends on your playstyle and which relics you have unlocked, so you guys can choose which setup you like best. But to get into this one right here, we have Fury of the Small, which has an effect of all adrenaline generating basic abilities generate plus 1% adrenaline. Then we have Berserker's Fury, deal up to plus 5.5% damage for all styles the lower your current life points are below max. And lastly, we have Blessing of Het, which has an effect of food and potions heal 10% more life points, and that is a new relic right there, coming out in the most recent update with Het's Oasis. So that relic, you just have to do a quest, I believe, to get that. And I will also have the link in the description to figure out how to get these other relics as well if you guys are curious and you don't have them unlocked already. Next, we have the second best in-slot relic setup, and you can see the only difference is that the Blessing of Het relic was switched out with the Font of Life relic, which increases maximum health by 500, and I would say that the first setup is a little bit better, but it just all depends on which relics that you own. Here we have the third best in-slot relic setups, which is a little bit different than the others. However, we still have Fury of the Small in this one because it is one of the best relics to use for PVM. So I would highly suggest using it even if you are unable to hold up to 500 Monolith Energy. But moving on, we have Conservation of Energy costing you 350 Monolith Energy, and it has an effect of that after using an ultimate ability, you will regain 10% adrenaline. And this combined with the Ring of Vigor makes using ultimate abilities such as Berserk and Meteor Strike very good because you are left with 20% adrenaline after you use the ability. Also, it's important to realize that when using the Overpower ability with the new Igneous Calquette cape equipped, as well as the Ring of Vigor and this Conservation of Energy relic, it will only cost you 40% adrenaline because this cape does have the ability to make Overpower 60% adrenaline, and the Ring of Vigor cuts it down to 50% adrenaline, and after you use the ability, you will then gain 10% adrenaline, leaving it only costing 40% adrenaline for an ultimate ability, which sounds pretty insane. Transitioning into the first quality of life relic setup, I really enjoy these setups because they make the game a lot more enjoyable to play, as well as allow you to be a little bit more lazy. And you can see here with the Persistent Rage relic, it allows you to not have your adrenaline drain out of combat, which is really nice, so you don't have to spam abilities every 10 seconds to make sure you do not lose adrenaline before you go into your next fight. And next we have the Death Ward relic right here, and it says that 5% damage reduction when your life points are below 50%, as well as a 10% damage reduction when they are below at 25%, making this setup sound pretty nice and enjoyable to use. Next, we have the second quality of life relic setup here, which is pretty similar to the previous one, besides the luck of the dwarfs relic right here, allowing you to gain the effect of tier 4 luck. However, you do have to sacrifice a luck of the dwarfs, costing around 92 million at the moment, which is pretty expensive, but it can be pretty convenient, so you don't have to switch your ring after every kill, and you don't have to carry around your luck of the dwarfs. But an important thing to mention is that you do not get these teleportation options when you transform the ring into the relic. For the third quality of a life relic setup, you can see it's obviously pretty similar, just mixing and matching up the abilities, so you guys can choose whichever one you like that suits your needs. Here is the fourth quality of a life relic setup, and I've already read all of these abilities, so you guys can pause the video if you would like to check it out a little bit more. Then here we have the fifth quality of a life relic setup, and I've also already talked about all these relics. Now I have to say that the persistent rage relic is one of my favorites because you don't have to keep adren stalling before going into your boss fights and worrying about losing adren, and it just makes the game a lot more enjoyable. Lastly, we have the sixth quality of a life relic setup here, using conservation of energy and persistent rage. Now it's time to show you guys the 650 Monolith Energy PVM optimal and quality of life relic setups. Here with the first best in slot relic setup, we have Conservation of Energy, Berserker's Fury, and Font of Life. And if you guys have skipped to this part of the video, you might want to consider checking back previously for the other setups, because I did explain why Conservation of Energy is so powerful if you combine the Ring of Vigor, the new Igneous Cowcat Cape, and this Conservation of Energy relic. Next, the second best in slot relic setup includes Conservation of Energy, Fury of the Small, and Death Ward. Now for the third best in slot relic setup, we have Fury of the Small, Berserker's Fury, and Death Ward. Transitioning into the first quality of a life relic setup, we have Conservation of Energy, Fury of the Small, and Persistent Rage. Next, for the second quality of a life relic setups, we have Fury of the Small, Berserker's Fury, and Persistent Rage. Lastly, we have the third quality of a life relic setup, including Fury of the Small, Berserker's Fury, and Luck of the Dwarfs. Well, that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like these, and I'll see you in the next video.